Alright, so as pretty much everyone knows, Post Malone just dropped his brand new album. It's a madness, got me feeling very inspired. So I thought, you know what, why don't I show you guys how to sound like Post Malone? Let's do it. Now obviously this video is called how to sound like Post Malone. It's not how to be Post Malone, but I'm gonna show you guys how to get as close as possible to the sound. Another thing to keep in mind is that he can sing like very well. I can't sing that well, maybe you guys can, I don't know. It's not just auto-tune though, like people think auto-tune is the only thing that you need. It's a lot of things combined with auto-tune to get this type of sound. But anyway, let's jump on the mic. Okay, so as an example, I'm going to use my track Slow Motion. First thing you've got to do when using auto-tune is make sure you're in the right key. In our case, it's E minor, as you can see on the screen. So once you've got that, you've got to record the first layer of vocals. I want to see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. I wanna see you in slow motion. Okay, so now that we've got some rough vocals down, we're gonna move on to the next stage, which is layering. If you listen to Post Malone's music, he layers a lot of his vocals, but he doesn't just do the same thing each take, he does different things each time. So he'll do a higher one, a lower one, or a different sounding one, and then when you merge it all together, it sounds a lot better. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna record one more take, we're gonna do it a little bit higher and a little bit softer, just to give it a different type of feel than the first take. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. I wanna see you in slow motion. And then we're gonna record one more take, which is really high. This is gonna sound very stupid, but it'll sound good when it's recorded. Trust me. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. I wanna see you in slow motion. So now that all the recording's out of the way, I'm gonna show you guys how to mix this to get that Post Malone sound. So first I'm going to mute the additional layers we did and just focus on the first one. I'm going to turn all of the plugins off so we've got just the raw vocals, and it sounds like this. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. So it doesn't sound that great, so the first thing I'm going to do is EQ it to take out all of the lows. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Next I like to take out some of the mids. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I want to see you in slow motion. You can hear how that's just like really boxy, so I'm just going to cut that out. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. And then I like to boost the highs, so I go in and find a nice sweet spot. Bright in the morning, got the top open. The reason why I go really extreme is so that you can like isolate the frequencies and hear it, and then obviously you take it down a notch. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. And then the high frequencies, some people like to boost these like crazy to get a really like crisp sound. I don't like to do that too much, but with the new microphone I've got, it kind of needs it a little bit, so. I wanna see you in slow motion. Okay, so here's the original vocals. I wanna see you in slow motion. And this is with the effects on. I wanna see you in slow motion. So for me, I think it's taking a little bit too much of the lows out. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. So it's not perfect, but it's better than what we started with. Next up, I like to add a bit of compression. I wanna see you in slow motion. Now what you don't want to do in compression is you don't want to over compress it. So I used to have my threshold set like all the way down here. I wanna see you in slow motion. But you can hear how it's like really crushed, and it's just too much basically. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Compression basically just smooths things over. And then we've got the de-esser, just take all the S's out. A lot of people turn down the threshold way too much when using de-essers. You don't want to remove the S's, you just want to make them less sharp. So like, this is how it sounds normally. I wanna see you in slow motion. You can hear how the S's are quite sharp. You just want to take that out a little bit. I want to see you in slow motion. I want to see you in slow motion. So there you go. It's not perfect, but it's better. If you do it all the way, it's just ridiculous. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's... Like, it's starting to duck the S's. You don't want to duck the S's, you just want to make them less sharp. And then, last but not least, we've got the auto-tune. Basically, you set your key, Set the input type to whatever your voice is. If you're a male, it's low male. If you've got a higher pitched voice, then go for soprano or alto. Humanize, I like to keep that at 100, otherwise you start sounding robot-y. Ignores vibrato, I always have that selected for my voice. You can just do whatever you want to. And then the retune speed. The retune speed is basically how much auto-tune you want on your voice. You can have nothing. I wanna see you in slow motion. And you can see here how much correction is happening to your pitch. I wanna see you in slow mo. So it's not too much there, whereas if you have it all the way, I wanna see you in slow motion. Like, it's going mad. So basically, you just turn this dial until you get to a sound that you enjoy. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. So that's sounding pretty decent. Remember, it's not perfect. The vocal takes weren't perfect to begin with, but this is just so I can show you an example of how to do things. Alright, so now moving on to the sends. I basically mainly only use a doubler, reverb, and then delay. The doubler is a trick that I learned off Pensado's playlist. If you are someone who seriously wants to learn how to do all this type of stuff, definitely go and watch Pensado's playlist. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a YouTube channel. It's basically, it just teaches you everything you need to know about mixing. And what a doubler does, it basically just delays the vocals and then spreads them wide. So it gives it a little bit more thickness and a bit more character to the vocal. But I'll show you how it sounds. I wanna see you in slow motion. If you've got headphones on, you'll be able to hear that very clearly. If not, hopefully you can still hear that. Next is a reverb. I wanna see you in slow motion. Me personally, I think it's like half auto-tune and half reverb that gets the Post Malone, Travis Scott, auto-tune type of sound. And reverb basically just depends on the type of beat you've got. So I'll play this in the mix. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. I wanna see you in slow motion. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. So that's quite a lot of reverb, but because the beat is quite trippy and the song is quite trippy in general, we really want to like give it a spaced out feel, make it sound really far away, and it just basically sets the tone of the song. Okay, so moving on, here's what really turns it into that Post Malone kind of sound. So remember earlier how we recorded the two additional layers? We had the soft take and then we had the high take. We're going to implement those into the mix now. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to spread them so it gives that really nice stereo sound. So the main vocal is going to be in the middle, but then the additional layers are going to be spread really wide and then turned down a little bit. So it's going to sound really cool. So basically, as you can see here, I've got a separate auxiliary channel, which has basically got everything that the original one has on, minus a de-esser for some reason. And it's this plugin here, sample delay, that gives it the really cool effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solo the additional take. So basically what this does is allows you to delay the audio signal on one side only. So you can delay the right or left side, for example, but if you do that by like just 10 milliseconds, your ears are going to get confused. So it's basically like you're separating the audio track. So originally you just had one file, but now you've got two files. One of them is delayed a little bit, so your ears just freak out basically and just think it sounds wider than it actually is. So I'm going to increase the delay on the right hand side only. So put your headphones on and listen to this as I progress it. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's You hear that? It's madness. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. But then together in the mix, it sounds like this. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Crazy, right? And basically that's what Post Malone does to get his vocals to sound the way they do. He basically just has like loads of different layers, high ones, low ones, different sounding ones, just to create this really awesome, like, just kind of like a harmony basically. So then we're going to do the same thing with the high take. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Madness. See how different that sounds. So originally we had this. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's and bright. Now we have this. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. So now we've got like a huge vocal layer that just sounds incredible. And when we play it in with the mix. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. And just to show you how big of an impact the delay has, this is all the vocal takes together. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it just sounds too muddy, it's too samey, everything's too clunky and too close together. So we separate it and it sounds like this. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. And then finally, to end the video off, I'll show you what the vocals sounded like originally. So we basically went from this, which is basically just the original vocals with no processing at all. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top. Sounds horrible. To then this with all the processing added. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. And then finally this with the additional layers added and then widened. Comes to the night, we can stay up till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come stay the night, we can stay out.
So yeah, that's how to sound like Post Malone. Obviously, this tape doesn't sound exactly like Post Malone. That's because the performance is different, I'm singing it differently, and I'm not Post Malone. But if you were to take what I showed you today and then apply it to Post Malone's voice, it would sound the way it does on his songs.
I wanna see you in slow motion. Come stay the night, we can stay out till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. I wanna see you in slow motion. Come stay the night, we can stay out till it's bright. In the morning, got the top open. Come take a ride, we can go where you like. I wanna see you in slow motion. She's slow, but the whip fast.